Welcome to the International Federation of Auto Racing. In the third season opener of this wonderful online league, we bring you all the action right here, right now from Daytona International Speedway. I gotta tell you, I cannot wait for this event, especially as a commentator who has not really dabbled in a lot of online racing experience. For those who don't know, I own a league known as the Modern Stock Car Cup Tour and all three divisions that go with it. And essentially, it's a lot different commentating an online race than it is commentating an offline race. Because you can't just wipe off an AI mistake and say, well, they're the AI. They just really don't know what they're doing. The people in these race cars do know what they're doing, and they have control over the vehicle. So who's to say, well, that's a bad mistake, or that's something that he shouldn't do, because they're actually the ones that are driving these things. Now, of course, with iFAR, it's really been an interesting season for them so far. They had a lot of different ups and downs in Season 2, including some of the best finishes that I've really ever seen. But regardless, Season 3 is upon us. With that being said, let's take a look at the starting lineup for this event. In row 1, we have Noah Degenhart Jr. and Tyler Mallon. In row 2, we have Ethan Mingalelli and Alexander Gonzalez. In row 3, we have Nick Jameson and Ruby Estes. It seems like this guy hasn't shown up yet, or else he doesn't have a teammate. There he is. In row 4, there's AJ Schlotterbeck and the 12 of Blaine Davis. In row 5 is Clapton Hernandez and Joshua Lisa Swain. In row 7, we have Jelaine Howell and Chris Stottlemyre. Next up, we have in the 97, Chris Mack and the 25 of Liam Tingley. And then for our last 3 rows, you have Avery Hamilton in the 95, along with league owner Aria Carmona in the 54, Stephen Tingley in the 10, Daniel Rodriguez in the 20, and then in our last row, Henry Nova in the 66, and Jerry Cook in the 08. With that being said, though, it is Daytona time, and I gotta tell you, this 50 laps of racing, it might be shorter than an ARCA race, and we might not have the sort of car count that people might expect, but the pace car is getting underway, so I cannot wait. But it's the iFAR Daytona opener. For those who are introducing their cars to this league, and for those who are unfamiliar with my work, my name is Dan Wilkins. I've been doing NR2003 commentating for almost a year now. Previously, I had experience in youth baseball, youth football, and varsity wrestling. Oh, look at this, Tyler Mallon going up high, having some fun or having some retaliation with Noah Degenhart Jr. Some possible troubles on the track for the 08 of Jerry Cook. He was off the pace. Now he's back on the pace. The pace car pulls off. Tyler Mallon on the inside. Noah Degenhart Jr. on the outside. It's the iFAR opener. It's right here, right now. Green flag from Daytona. As the 43 is already slowing, that's Ethan Mingalelli. He just had a terrible fall from grace. He's outside of the top 5 as we're just about to go into the first turn. A bad turn of events for the 43, excuse me. The 18 is the one leading, that's why I mentioned him by mistake. He's really running all over the front bumper of the 36 of Alexander Gonzalez. Now headed down the backstretch for the first time here at Daytona. Tyler Mallon really getting a good run. He's held the lead. I mean, he is the pole sitter after all, so why wouldn't he get the best advantage? He's got the fastest car. He hits the apron. Now here comes Alexander as there's contact between Blaine Davis. As now somebody's going to pit lane or way below the yellow line. It's Ruby Estes who's going to fall back now after a bad turn of events. As now got more cars going below the yellow line. That's Blaine Davis. Mallon now switching up high. As now we're going to see a car in the wall. It's Clapton Hernandez. He's trying to come back down the track and trying to avoid having more issues. As now a car around and has to save it. That's AJ Schlotterbeck. Really trying to hang on to that thing. Now hugging the outside line. Here's Tyler Mallon along with Gonzalez. Noah Degenhart Jr. trying to defer from the line here. He gets to the inside. He might lose that draft help as now Again, more trouble in 4. That's Blaine Davis in the 12. Several cars involved in a possible incident. We're staying green, though. Noah Dagenhart Jr. really with a loose race car. He's all over that top line. And the only guy that's on the bottom right now is Henry Nova, as now the 87 goes extremely low. Here he comes back up onto the track, hopefully without causing any issues. Here comes the 43 of Mingalelli, who had a bad start. There's a lot of... Oh, I thought that was smoke. That's a bright light in turn 4. 36 gets loose off of 4. Back to the stripe. Mallon puts an aggressive block on the 43 Dodge of Ethan Mingalelli. Now on lap 4, really trying to get stuff going here is Mallon, holding the line. As now 43, if anybody's not holding his line, it's the 43. All over the racetrack, really squiggling that car around. Current top 10, Mallon, Mingalelli, Gonzalez, the 60 of Lizaswain, excuse me. 77 of Stottlemyre, 08 of Cook, 66 of Nova, 87 of Dagenhart Jr., the 13 of Nick Jamieson, and the 19 of Jelani Howell. Car got loose up there. That's a 60 of Lisa Swain. I swear, these cars are wrecking loose, or they're just overall reckless. Less than 20% of the way into the race here at the iFAR opener at Daytona. Gonzalez trying to open a lane that he doesn't have, as they're wrecking off of 2. At least I thought. Yes, there's a big crash. Clapton Hernandez has tagged the inside wall hard. He is spinning like mad. Does the yellow come out? We're going to have the race back to the line. Tyler Mallon leads. I would assume that would have to be a caution. Is everybody slowing down? There's the 69 of Clapton Hernandez. He's got a flat left front. We're still racing. We are still green. Into the picture is the 08 of Jerry Cook. As now Jerry Cook might have made contact with the 77 of Stottlemyre. He's now going back through the field again. There's the 69 of Hernandez being told to stay low, as he has bad left front damage. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the garage immediately after this. Mallon has led every lap this race. Going to lap 7, he hugs the outside. Mingalelli going low with the help of Lisa Swain. Right now it's a 5-car tandem. Mallon, Gonzalez, and Cook on the top, and Mingalelli and Lisa Swain on the bottom. Take a look from the hood of the number 08 of Jerry Cook. We might have our first lead change. It actually lasts a lap. Jerry Cook made a challenge, but he'll relegate himself back to 3rd. It's what happens when you're the only car out of a draft when it comes to this train racing. You end up being pushed back a bunch of spots. He was challenging for the lead just a few thousand feet ago. Now he's outside of that top 4 tandem. He's in 5th, at risk of getting passed by either Dagenhart, Stottlemyre, or both. As here comes Lisa Swain on the inside again, breaking from that tandem. Not really getting anything done, though. As it appears to be that the 69 is getting... Uh-oh. There's a spin off of 4. Lisa Swain, Joshua Lisa Swain around. Does this put the other cars in danger? It does not. It's now the 69 actually coming off of pit lane. Whoa, here comes the 08. Way down low. He's going to get help from the 66 of Nova. But will it be able to stick? He's hugging the apron, almost touching the double yellow line. Now they're side by side again. Mallon and Cook. Cook going way low with the influence of Nova. Maybe getting hooked a little bit there in that number 08, Jimmy Dean's Dodge. As the bright light passes by off of turn 4... Passing by the grandstands, Jerry Cook. Down low. And now leaving pit lane is the 60 of Joshua Lisa Swain. .36 breaking from that pack again. But only to really put himself back in line just a second later. People have to realize there's 41 laps to go in this race. If you are really thinking about trying to, make a cautious, or I should say a reckless move, with less than 40 to go, you might get yourself wrecked. I know this might not apply to this certain tandem of racing, but if you play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes. It's just simple as that. Which is why also I would advise against for these drivers, if somebody is going to go down way low, that's their fault because they're losing all the draft that everyone else is giving them. Malin, Gonzalez, Mingalelli, and Stottlemyre, all those guys, they're giving a whole bunch of draft. And if you're just going to go down low and abandon that pack, you're really losing your chance to be aerodynamically effective as Ethan Mingalelli is in the wall off of the apex of turns 3 and 4. He is falling way back. Don't know if he's going to go to pit lane for repairs, but that might be a sign of a tire down or possibly a mechanical issue or just a human error. Here comes Gonzalez. Again, Tyler Mallon has led every lap of this race, which is why they're such a great competitor. Running in the In-Car Cup Series, another online league, one of the most prestigious in the NR community. For one, I've raced in a one-off in their Sportsman Series, which is a subsidiary. Think of it as the Xfinity Series of In-Car. Raced at Michigan, got 10th place, racing for ARE in the 92. Current top 5, Tyler Mallon, Alexander Gonzalez, Chris Stottlemyre, Henry Nova, and Noah Degenhart Jr. For the rest of the field, though, besides this tandem of 5 cars, there's Jerry Cook in 8th, Ethan Mingalelli in 7th. Also, I don't know why I said 8th. Jerry Cook is in 6th. AJ Schlotterbeck in 8th. Liam Tinley in 9th. Daniel Rodriguez in 10th. Aria Carmona in 11th. Jelaine Howell in 12th. Nick Jameson in 13th. Blaine Davis in 14th. Then you have in the 97, that's Chris Mack in 15th. Followed by Ruby Estes in 16th. Clapton Hernandez all the way back in 19th. Currently being scored 3 laps down. And that's really all she wrote. 19 cars in this entry field for the iFAR opener at Daytona. Alex Gonzalez really wiggling around the 18 of Tyler Mallon. I mean, I know they've been running a tandem all night long, but let's be honest here, the 36, if anything, might be the first one to cause a wreck. As the 08 of Jerry Cook got in the wall a little bit off of 2, he's wiggling the car around. Also, keep in mind the top speeds of these cars. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. They're going 220 on the straights. I mean, that's a really, really good aero package if you're running 220. Now, it's not going to be good if somebody gets turned. They might be going up in the air and blowing over, like Jamie McMurray did at Talladega practice. I believe that was 2018. As now the 77 of Chris Stottlemyre, maybe having an aberration for the rest of that pack as well. I mean, the top 5 is still staying the same. Nothing really new. Lap 15 of 50 from the iFAR opener at Daytona. 36 pushing the 18. Trying to make something work. I don't know. Oh, Henry Nova going from high to low, now back to high. He's really wiggling around. 87 doing the same thing. They're all trying to wiggle their cars. I would honestly not be surprised if there ends up being some sort of conflict soon, because these guys are way too loose. They're running way too close to each other in a train formation. I mean, you know, this would be like this as something as simple as driving a car. This is really complex. I mean, look at the 66. He's stepping out that bumper. He's peeking to the inside, but you don't need to make a move at this point. 36 is literally on the bumper of the 18, pushing in the corners and on the straightaways. That's a dangerous technique that might result in either you or your competitor getting in the wall. Honestly, I just don't like the move. I mean, it's Like the 36, again, going down low. And he's not going that far low. He's just kind of hanging in there. See if there's any other battles for position that we should highlight. Right now, biggest battle that I see is the 56 of AJ Schlotterbeck. He just got around the 08 of Jerry Cook. So he's in Mingalelli. Got pushed back there. I mean, this pack is very far spread out. It's going to take a caution to bring them back together. If there is one. For the sake of argument. .36, again, this is the same thing the 36 has been doing all night. Gonzalez has really been running around. He's essentially been putting the 18 on a high alert since he's saying, you know, I'm going to just move high, I'm going to move low, I'm going to do whatever I can to look like I'm going to try to overtake, and in the end, it's not going to do you justice. Even the 66 of Henry Nova and the 77 of Chris Stottlemyre really making a difference here. With that being said, speaking of the 77, we're going to take a lap around with him here on lap 19 of iFAR. Lap 20 now underway. 31 to go as got a car leaving pit lane. And that is the 10 of Samuel Tingley. So there's still good battles for position here. There's 20 of Rodriguez up against the 43 of Mingalelli, although he's going to try to help the 56. As there's a spin in turn 1. AJ Schlotterbeck up on his lid, up against the wall. Several other cars involved. That's Stephen Tingley, Ethan Mingalelli, Aria Carmona, all involved. As the yellow should be coming out. Everybody's slowing down. Yellow flag is out for the first time here on lap 20. Moving now on to lap 21 out of 50. My goodness. As soon as that happened, the 10 got involved. He actually got stuck up on the wall. And that is not what you want to see. So let's go back here and take a look at what happened, since this is obviously not what you want to see. I mean, it's a good thing that I highlighted their battles going on, though, because that might have been a factor. Although, did Samuel Tingley do what Kevin LePage did at 2008 in Nationwide Series at Talladega? We're going to take a look. So right now, I mean, you can see 56 getting a big run from Mingalelli. He just pushes him and he sends him around. The 10 has nothing to do with it. He's just a sit and duck. 20 gets in the wall and he goes up and over. There is the... Oh, that's where the 10 gets involved. This is where most of the wrecking happens because the 10 is readjusting back on the racing surface while they're wrecking behind him. So we're going to take a look at some replay camera angles for this. The first being the 56 of AJ Schlotterbeck on board. Up and over for the 56. That's not what you want to see, but glad he's all right, as we're going to take a look now from the 54 of Aria Carmona, who was running in the 10th position at the time of yellow. Also, you know what? We're not going to do cockpit. We're going to do the good old roof cam. Got up against the wall there. There's the 56. One more roof camera. We're going to take a look at the 10, I believe. Which was the one that got stuck up in the wall? That is the 10 of Samuel Tingley. My goodness, went for a wild ride. Maybe not as wide as Schlotterbeck, but we're going to see, as he is the sitting duck of it all. We're going to see what he has waiting for him off the pit lane. My goodness. I mean, he just got stuck in the wall. Like, my goodness. Wow. So, now that that yellow is out, we are going to bring us back to where we were after the replay after the replays were shown. So now green flag pit stops were not going to be a factor. It's going to be yellow flag pit stops. Oh, does the 77 fake it? 77 does not. He gets back in the line. We're going to take a look at what's happening with the 18 of Tyler Mallon, see what his pit strategy is going to be as we come along. Oh, look at that. There's Nicolas Cage. Wonder if Nick is his pit stall. No, it's not. So what's the pit report on him? We're getting... He says he's getting 4 tires. He says the feel of the car is great. He can't wait to get back out there and hopefully get the lead going. As he lied to us. He's only getting 2 tires and he's going to win the race off of pit road. This is going to be a big lead position change for Henry Nova, who's going to gain 2 spots. Degenhardt is going to gain another 2, and Alex Gonzalez is going to lose 3 spots, now being relegated to the 5th position. Is Chris Stottlemyre possibly having problems? He's going to try to get back up to speed, but right now he is running way off pace. Hopefully everything is all right with his situation. Here comes the 44 of Ruby Estes. He's going to let him pass. 54 of Carmona. Got a little bit of rear end damage after making contact with the wall on that first yellow. I believe, if they're not mistaken, if everybody in that field gets their act together, we're going to be going green probably this time by... Let's see what the situation is here. They're all spread out, and we got another car going to the pits. Or not. Jerry Cook. We are not going green this time by. We're going to fast forward to the next time we go green. It's Tyler Mallon warming up his tires in fast motion. Yeah, he's warming up his tires there. I'm assuming they... Let's see. Yeah, this should be better. Running at pace speed, current top 5 is Mallon, Nova, Degenhardt, Gonzalez, and Rodriguez. Going green again on lap 24 as Degenhardt, already with a big challenge from the outside by Alex Gonzalez. Number 87 Dodge has been running up front all day, at least near the front, if not already there. Look who's on the inside right there. That's a 20 of Daniel Rodriguez. Trying to make something work here. Or he might be slower, although he's trying to get back to the rest of the pack. See how he's doing. Now it looks like the train racing has subsided. It's now a tandem drafting battle a la 2011. Tyler Mallon and Alex Gonzalez going at it for the first position, although Gonzalez, I don't know if Mallon is scared of Gonzalez or if Gonzalez is scared of Mallon, or if neither is true. But right now, I'm a little bit scared for the 18 because Gonzalez is all over the rear bumper of the 18. If I'm that driver, I'm thinking, holy cow, this guy is all over my bumper like he's trying to paint a canvas. It's crazy. Now they're back into the train racing with Mallon, Gonzalez, Nova, and Degenhardt. They all break apart again as there's another spin off of 4. It's a 12 of Blaine Davis. He's in the wall. Hernandez gets hooked, and the 13 of Noah Jameson is involved. Cars are slowing down as we're back out for the second yellow of the day. Let's take a look at the replay as now this is getting interesting. Let's take a look at the replay. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, well. That's fine. Didn't work. I tried it. It didn't work. I'm trying to use some new graphics, but... Oh, that is not a good sight. Okay. So let's rewind here and see what's going on. So Blaine Davis on the outside of Ruby Estes made contact with 44, got up in the wall, comes down and hits Carmona, then hooks hard right and gets into Nick Jamison. And man, a hard hit, and then Blaine Davis goes spinning down the track. Looks like Schlotterbeck and Mingalelli miss it, but that is a bad two-car pileup between Blaine Davis in the 12 and Nick Jamison in the 13. Let's take a look from both camera angles. First, the 12 of Blaine Davis running in 9th at the time of yellow. Wow. He got really close to the 69. I think the 69 tried to maneuver his way out, and he ended up making it, but he's already had enough of a heartbreak today. He doesn't need any more. Let's take a look from the hood of the number 13 of Nick Jamison. Wow, got up in the air, both of his back wheels. Then he just locks the brakes up and stays up the track, so... Yeah, obviously not what you want to see. He couldn't even run it, so... He will be out. And this will mean back out for the second yellow of the day. We'll see if there is yellow flag pit stops. I don't think there would be. There was strategy last time. Why would there be strategy now? One car possibly going in. Henry Nova. 36 was too late. And I think the 08 might get a penalty, as now there's a car stopped on track. It's the 69 of Clapton Hernandez. This is interesting. As the 08 is having problems, he can't get into his pit stall. Now he finally gets service. So that will be interesting to see how that plays out. Let's bring it back. Down the back. Lap 27. Past the halfway point now of this race. The 69 was still stopped on track. I think he's got a mechanical problem. Not sure what's going on there. We'll figure out, though. We'll figure it out. Yeah, the 10 is out. The 69 and the 13 are both out of this race. Current fastest laps. Here's your top 10. The 08 with a 41.077, 87 with a 41.095, 13 who's now wrecked with a 41.200, 66 with a 41.221, 18 in, I went out of order, the 77 in 5th with a 41.223, 18 Tyler Mallon has been your leader every single lap of the way with a 41.240, 36 of Gonzalez. 41.241, and we're back green again. Finishing out this top 10, though, the 60 of Lisa Swain with a 41.259, the 25 of Tingley with a 41.321, and Aria Carmona in 10th with a 41.361. That was an unorthodox restart, but we made it work. Lap 29, 32 to go. We're actually just 22 to go. Did my math wrong. Got to go back to second grade math. Can't even do simple addition. Look at Degenhardt Jr. all the way down low trying to make a move. He's all by himself, though. I don't know if the 20 is going to be able to give adequate help. Oh, 20 got loose. He almost overcorrected that thing on the straightaway. Now that we have another crash. No, the 54, I believe, just got up in the wall. Mallon's still out front, as he has been all day long. Does Gonzalez wait to make a move, or does he make one quite soon? He's been quite antsy. It's like he's got ants in his pants. He's like, come on, 18, I want to make a move. I want to win this race, and I want to lead. But the 18 says, no, I will lead as long as I possibly can, and you have nothing you can do about it. And honestly, Gonzalez, I'm sure, will probably be fine with the second place finish to open the season because it puts him in a good point standing. But the counter argument is, if you're a race car driver who's fine with a second place finish, who is satisfied with that and doesn't want more, then that's not a real race car driver. Because winning is always the end goal. It's not finishing in the top 5 or the top 10. Yeah, you want to get there first, but winning is always what you want to do at the end of the day. Lap car 97 of, that would be, I missed him. There he is, Chris Mack, 16th position. Now going one lap down. Hernandez, Jameson, and the 10 of... Oh, 25 got loose. Man, everybody's getting loose. You'd think that these setups were made for these drag racing cars. Look at this. Car around. 43 of Mingalelli coming back up onto the track. Davis almost hit him. Yellow flag, I believe, is back out. Yellow is back out for the spin of the 43 of Ethan Mingalelli and possible contact on the 12 of Davis. Let's go back and take a look from this Dodge. I mean, Mingalelli has not had a good day so far. He's been running mid-pack. He started up near the front, but here's the problem. He was dropping back on the first lap. Didn't have a good restart at all. We're going to take a look, though, at the hood of the number 43 of Ethan Mingalelli. Oh my goodness. Both cars, the 08 and the 12, could have gone flying if he hit them, but he just missed them. That is miraculous right there. See what the situation is if there's any on pit lane. Whoa, the 87 of Degenhart. What in the world? He stopped on the track. Possibly did what the 69 did. He might be having a mechanical problem. He might be done. Got several cars coming on the pit lane. It's the 08 and the 43. 43's probably got to get new tires since he's the one that spun. And the 08 jacks up his pit stall again. He's got to back it up. That's the third time. As now there's a spin under yellow. It's the 12 of Blaine Davis. I was praising him for his drive and handling when he missed the 43 coming back up onto the track, but I might have to take that back because he's wrecking under yellow. What are you doing, man? That's ridiculous. Man. Wow. Something. That's something. Right now. Wow. That is weird. I assume we're going green next time by, but I'm going to wait until we come off of 4 here. Yeah, we will hopefully be going green. It looks like they're at pace speed. Current top 5. As they're wrecking again off of 4. Davis, no, that's Degenhart and Hernandez will still be going green despite the carnage behind them. My aforementioned top 5, Malin, Gonzalez, Rodriguez, Stottlemyre, and Schlotterbeck, who, after wrecking and quite literally rolling on his lid, he's back in the lead. Or he's back in the top 5. He's back on the lead lap as there's another wreck. Ruby Estes, Lucas Tingley, Liam Tinley, and Chris Mack possibly involved as everybody's, I believe, either they're slowing down again. That was... Well, that was fast. My goodness. That was a fast way to get restarted. I mean, after there was already a spin off of 4. It's not what you wanted to see. Nobody was even up to speed yet. We're going to take a look at the number 25 of Liam Tingley, and then we're going to take a look at the number 44 of Ruby Estes. First, Tingley. Looks like he didn't even really get much. He was doing a really good job of getting around the 44 as they were wrecking down there. So let's take a look at the number 44 of Ruby Estes. Yeah, 44 made contact with the 12, made a hard right, and looks like also caught up possibly the 19 of Jelani Howell. So that is interesting. We're going to bring it back. Let's see. Any takers on the pits? Not for now. Assuming the wrecked cars also, they're going to probably pit. That would be my assumption. If there's no pit takers, then there might be... Uh-oh. What in heavens? Something happened up there. I'm not going to rewind, though. Just for the sake of argument. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to rewind. I'm assuming we'll be going green this time by lap 36. That'll be 15 to go on the nose. Uh-oh. No, I don't think we're going green. No, we're not. Okay. Apologies. We'll be going green with 14 to go. Assuming that they don't have another caution lap. Let's keep rolling. 20 on the apron. Here we go. This should be it right here. Malin, Gonzalez, Rodriguez, Stottlemyre, and Schlotterbeck back under green. 14 to go. '77 giving a push to the 36. 36 with a bad restart. 18 all the way out in front. Although it shouldn't be too difficult for the 36 to get back going. Because he's got himself a good machine in there in that 36. Here he goes up high again. Here he goes with his shenanigans. Eventually, he's going to try to hook that leader into the wall, and he's going to end up taking out himself. And by that point, I'm going to have no sympathy. Because that's just how it rolls. Is there another wreck? Thought there was. Thought I heard one through my headset. Really a lot of train racing. I know it's not happy with the fans, but the drivers don't care because as long as they don't have a wrecked race car, they don't care how boring the race is from afar. From the driver's cockpit, as somebody who was running in a one-off at in-car in possibly the worst wreck fest of all time, I was still extreme. I was cherry red in the face. I went through 3 bottles of Gatorade in the first, like, 30 laps. Because it's nerve-wracking. 12 laps to go. At the International Federation of Auto Racing at Daytona. Now the 20 is playing the game that Gonzalez did for the majority of the race leading up to this. And even Stottlemyre's playing in on the fun. But as we approach 11 to go, it's going to be the time that we introduce, at least in iFAR broadcasting, one of the most famous segments brought over from NASCAR to the real world and to online racing. Here we go. Here is Crank It Up. bringing it back down and bringing it back to the action here at the iFAR opener at Daytona. Top 5 staying the same. I got a bad feeling, though, about Tyler Mallon. Do we have a car going to pits? Possibly. No, it's the 66 of Henry Nova making unusual and unorthodox, possibly dangerous moves, running all over the track. There's Rodriguez trying to form it. I don't know if anybody's trying to form their own line or if they're waiting until the last second and the last lap to really capitalize. Because right now, it wouldn't be... I'm going to be quite blunt. It's not going to be the best strategic move to make a move right now. If you're going to try to slingshot to the lead, wait until that last circuit of 2.5 miles is coming by. Because if you wait until that last lap, you're going to have a better chance of trapping that leader. Or maybe, you know, I don't want to... I don't know how to say the words, but I don't want to invoke that you should cause a wreck, but I'm saying you might end up causing one if you wait to the last second, but that's a trade-off you can make if you win. Think about it. Michael McDowell kind of made a weird move after getting blocked by both of the Penske cars in the 2021 Daytona 500 on the last lap on the backstretch between Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano. You know what happened? They both wrecked. As we have another wreck, speaking of wrecks, it's the 87 of Noah Degenhardt Jr. got up into the wall at the bottom of the racetrack there. He should be okay, though. As now, instead of it being a, you know, maybe 3 or 4 car battle, it's like a 7 car battle. The only one that has changed is now the 87. With Noah Degenhardt Jr., who is way off the pack, along with the 77, who was in 4th just last lap. Now he's all the way back in 7th, which could be a make-or-break deal at the end of the day. Current top 3, Mallon, Gonzalez, and Rodriguez. I mean, hey, Logano, just this year in the 500, led the most laps. He didn't win. He didn't even finish. But that's just Penske for you. Back to the stripe. 5 laps to go. 10 miles, if you will, at Daytona in the iFAR opener. With great train racing usually comes a great finish. Unless the race ends under yellow. But as NASCAR goes, and as I would assume iFAR would go, the last lap would probably be the one where they're least likely to throw out a caution. Gonzalez goes high a little bit. Rodriguez goes low. Just a tad. Top 6 now running in a bit of a distance chamber in a train. It's Mallon, Gonzalez, Rodriguez, Schlotterbeck, Nova, and Tingley. Stottlemyre possibly waiting in the wings. I know he's lost a draft at this point, but think about it. You might have a miraculous situation like in 2011 at the... Or not in 2011. I think it was 2011, but correct me if I'm wrong. At the Xfinity race in Daytona, where you got a big wreck at the front. Literally the entire top 9 or 10 wrecked out on that last turn. And James Buescher in the 30 ended up taking home a rather upset win. Gonzalez, again, dipping a little bit. Rodriguez doing the opposite. 3 to go. Lap 40... yes, 48. The ticker on the top was an update, and I was like, what in the world? Maybe a bit of a delay. Tyler Mallon's the experienced racer out here. You know, it's the kind of driver that's just like, yeah, I'm going to show all of you how it's done. And considering that he's led every single lap to this point, don't be surprised if he's not going to be the one that leads when the checkered flag flies. Because at super speedways, it does not matter who leads the most laps or who's the most dominant at the end of the day. Because what matters is who takes the checkered flag and who's leading right then and there. You could lead 1 lap at a super speedway and still be declared the winner, and it would still be good. You don't see that much on short tracks, super speedways, or road courses. So there's 2 to go. 2 lap cars on the inside. Delaney Howell and Chris Mack. Rodriguez all over the racetrack going low and going back high. And Chris Mack actually got loose trying to get his car lower so that the lead lap cars could actually get something going. Now it's go time. About 3 miles to go and counting here at the iFAR Daytona opener. Who makes a move? Coming back to the white flag, Tyler Mallon in the 18 Cheerios Toyota takes us to the last 2.5 mile circuit here in the iFAR Season 3 opener. Gonzalez in second, Rodriguez in third. They're all jockeying for position in turns 1 and 2. Gonzalez, who used to be wiggling all over the racetrack, isn't doing that now. Mallon trying to be the most aggressive blocker he can be as they're headed down the backstretch for the last time here at Daytona. Going into 3. Rodriguez dips low. Does he make a move in time? Here comes Mallon down the bottom of the track. They're wrecking behind him. It's Henry Nova. Nobody will be able to make a move in time. Tyler Mallon wins at Daytona in the iFAR opener. He led every single lap as they're again wrecking on the last turn. It's Chris Mack after the finish. A dominant performance by the 18 of Tyler Mallon as he takes home another iFAR victory. Dominant competitor in every league he participates in. Now he's making contact with the 13 and the 36. They're all saying, you know, good racing. Or no, he's going to dump him. They're all just having fun, I think. Unless this is, oh, darn. Top 10, Mallon, Gonzalez. The 20 of Daniel Rodriguez in third. The 56 of AJ Slaughterbeck in fourth. 25 of Liam Tingley in fifth. 77 of Chris Stottlemyre in sixth. 66 of Henry Nova in seventh. 95 of Avery Hamilton in eighth. 43 of Ethan Mingalelli in ninth. And the 87 of Noah Degenhardt Jr. in 10th, and then, as we go through the rest of the field, you have the 44 of Ruby Estes in 11th. I know I said top 10, but we only have 19 cars, so I'm not going to stop. 54 of Aria Carmona in 12th. The 12 car of Blaine Davis in 13th, and then one lap down would be the 97 of Chris Mack, and then the 19 of Jelani Howell. 2 laps down is the 08 of Jerry Cook, and then out of the race early, 69 car of Clapton Hernandez, 13 of Nick Jamieson, who was involved in a previous accident, and the 10 of Samuel Tingley, who got involved in that first caution. So from the iFAR opener, Tyler Mallon takes home another win with 50 laps out of 50 laps led, a truly sweeping performance. This is Dan Wilkins signing off for now. See you guys next time at the Daytona Road Course, not too far from here. You know why? Because it's literally inside the track. Thank you for watching iFAR, and we'll see you at the next round. Adios.